What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Come on, music! You know, there is a saying in America, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And for those of you who have been to Las Vegas, you know what I mean. It's a lot of gambling, partying, and booty clapping sounds. Yeah, that's a lot of booty clapping sounds going to Vegas. Stop the show. But I have a sim story. I went to Vegas twice, paid for the trip, and didn't get none either time. That's another story from the day. Rewind, Dima! And Tiffany Henyard has a lot to do with a whole Vegas debacle. Now, I know you're sitting there like, what does she got to do with Vegas? I'm glad you asked that question because Tiffany Henyard is not from Vegas. Tiffany Henyard is from Dolton, Illinois. But Tiffany Henyard took some money from the city of Dolton and flew all the way to Las Vegas and was tripping it off. But she wasn't there spending the town's money by herself. No sirree, Bob. She has some of the trustees with her, okay? Not the trustees that don't like her, like Jason House and Kiana Belcher and Brittany Norwood, not them. The other ones that she cool with, we don't know which ones. So they flew over there with the town's money. And remember when Tiffany Henyard got caught up by WGN News about her spending in Vegas, and she had this to say.
You didn't go to Las Vegas? What is that?
No comment.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Were you?
It's not paid by them.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions?
Yeah, already trying to cover up them allegations up, but fast forward! So again, I found this news clipping that came out about something that happened during that particular trip. Now, Tiffany Henyard was already in trouble for spending the town's money. But now, when you hear this, it's gonna be all bad. Play the clip!
Right to those disturbing allegations against the mayor of Dolton and an unnamed village trustee. We've learned the Illinois Department of Human Rights is investigating complaints of sexual harassment and retaliation. NBC5's Regina Waldrop has been poring over the documents in the case, and you're here now with what they reveal. Regina?
Stephen, Marion, a few days ago, NBC5 obtained complaints filed with the Department of Human Rights through a Freedom of Information request. Now, they're filed against Mayor Tiffany Henyard and the Village of Dolton and Thornton Township. A former female employee who was Henyard's assistant alleges retaliation, sexual harassment, and discrimination after she raised concerns about an apparent non-consensual sexual encounter between her and an unnamed village trustee. The Dolton police officer says in a separate complaint filed with the Department of Human Rights that he also faced retaliatory actions for coming forward with what he witnessed. The incident allegedly occurred during an economic development trip to Las Vegas last May. On that trip, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard and a handful of village representatives, including her former assistant who filed this complaint with the Illinois Department of Human Rights, and 2 village trustees. We're not naming the woman because NBC5 does not name people who possibly were a victim of an unwanted sexual encounter. According to her complaint, the woman says she went to dinner with an unnamed Dolton trustee. The complaint then recounts the following events. After dinner, she says she started to feel disoriented, extremely lightheaded, as if the ground was moving. She says she blacked out. According to the complaint, the next morning, she woke up in the trustee's hotel room with no memory of how she got there, experiencing physical discomfort. She says after returning to Dolton, Officer Byron Miles, who was part of Henyard's security detail and went on the trip to Vegas, told her a trustee on the trip told him that the trustee had unprotected sex with her. Officer Miles has also filed a complaint with the Human Rights Department. The woman states in her complaint that after she was told this, she went immediately to seek medical care. Both complaints then provide details of a meeting which took place the following day with the former assistant, Officer Miles, and Mayor Henyard. At this meeting, the woman informed Henyard that she would never willingly have sex with the trustee. Officer Miles informed Henyard and the woman that the trustee called him that night in Vegas. The trustee, he says, then bragged about the sexual activities he engaged in with the woman, Miles' complaint says, suggesting that she may have not had the ability to consent or did not provide consent. According to the complaint, Officer Miles recorded some of this conversation on his iPhone. According to the complaints, the mayor said that if this information became public, she would be ruined, that all the work she'd done would be lost. The ex-employee says the mayor told her she would take care of it and to trust her. Days later, according to her complaint, the woman was put on unpaid medical leave, though she says she did not request to be put on leave. She was later terminated. In his complaint, Officer Miles alleges that he was demoted to patrol duty, among other retaliation, for coming forward as a witness. They're asking for back pay, front pay, punitive damages, and attorney's fees. In a statement to NBC5, the Village says it conducted a thorough investigation into these allegations, led by an independent third-party company. The statement goes on to say former police officer Miles was interviewed and denied knowing anything about these allegations, and the alleged victim refused to cooperate. The statement continues, this is nothing more than two disgruntled Village employees trying to make off with taxpayers' hard-earned dollars. The Village looks forward to defending these allegations and pursuing all other available remedies to the Village. So the attorney who represents both the woman and Officer Miles says Officer Miles is, in fact, still employed with the Dolton Police Department. He also told us a criminal complaint on behalf of Mayor Henyard's ex-assistant is imminent. Now, coming up at 10, we talked to 3 Village trustees about the Department of Human Rights investigation and what happens next. Marion.
Regina, we look forward to that story tonight. Thank you.
Oh, my God. We have some cheek-taking allegations happening now. This is crazy. But man, wait a minute. Stop the show. She got fired because she might have told. Is that right? Well, the first thing we got to see if the mayor has a history of clapping back at people who try to come against her. Now, let's go to another brother by the name of Edward Steves. Remember Edward Steves? Edward Steves is a former Dolton trustee. He's the one over there helping out on the Dolton Trustees channel. But why is he not a trustee now? Well, let's look at his statement when he was running for trustee.
Greetings, this is Trustee Edward Steve, and I must address the appalling lies that you may have heard in attempts to smear my name and sully my character. Many of you know that what you're hearing is a bunch of lies. It's no surprise that this mayor will resort to scare tactics, deception, to distract you, for the facts speak for themselves. I am campaigning hard with my team to protect you, the Dolton resident, to stop a mayor who already recklessly turned a budget surplus into a $5.8 million deficit with no plans of how to get us out of it. So many of you have told us while we're going door to door, we're on a campaign trail, and like the elders say, when you're being attacked, you must be doing something right. This mayor does not want accountability. She ran on transparency, and she is the opposite of being transparent. The reality or the truth is that one trustee cannot raise the taxes of the village. We voted on a 0% tax increase. And she wants trustees that she can hold a job or some type of position of power over them to control their vote. We will continue to work hard for the future of Dolton. We will strive to make this a safe community with a well-trained and staffed police department. We will strive to attract more businesses to Dolton. So we need your support. February 28th.
So he ended up losing his seat because of all of those lies that Tiffany Henyard was talking about. But wait a minute, there is more. Remember this guy who got his restaurant? He didn't get a business license all because of this?
Holding up licenses to certain businesses like this Dolton restaurant.
I've heard rumors that say, hey, I'm on the wrong team.
Dwayne Wood has been trying to renew the business license for his restaurant for nearly a year. While he has not talked to the FBI, he believes he can't get approved because he's provided catering to several Dolton trustees who are engaged in a political fight with Henyard.
I think I've been just targeted because of my affiliation with a certain group of people. You know, I had the trustees. I've cooked for the trustees.
Oh, yeah. What about the other brother who couldn't get a license for his U-Haul because of this?
Did the FBI agents you talked to seem serious about
very serious
concerns?
Very serious. Very.
Lawrence Gardner owns a U-Haul rental and trucking business in South Suburban Dolton and says he went to the FBI several months ago, frustrated that the Village of Dolton would not renew his business license. Gardner says he's been harassed and his business raided and shut down by Dolton police. He believes because he refused to make a donation to a civic event sponsored by Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
And I talked to a couple of agents and I explained them what was going on. I gave them all my paperwork to show them what was happening in court and what was happening in Dolton. And they told me they was investigating and they would be in touch with me.
And if you can remember, guys, there was an older brother who stood up and had some words at the last Dolton City Council meeting. And he said something that was very interesting toward the end.
But there was something called the Shackman Decree. And so I'm querying that perhaps the board might consider whether or not there can be some kind of home ruling so that the political patronage and hiring people that are cronies, that walk on eggshells and can't really do and discharge their duties for fear of recrimination, fear of losing their job, or perhaps even personal attack. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he talked about situations in which, you know, people are scared to speak up because you want to know why? They might be fired. Oh yeah. So the mayor has a history of doing those such things. But wait a minute, guys. We got to put it more into perspective. Now this is a black woman. Okay, I'm pretty sure Dolton's all black. This is a sister that might have got graped on that trip. And you know, Tiffany Henyard, who's supposed to be helping women a lot, she's supposed to be doing all these things for her charity, helping women with breast cancer. Want to know what she's doing? Oh, you got graped on a trip to Vegas? We was stealing the money? You know what? You got to go. She done fired police chiefs and everything. Want to know who don't be caring about women? People like Tiffany Henyard. And see, that's the thing that I've been telling y'all about. See, it used to be, you black men are misogynistic. You hate black women. Kevin Samuels hates black women. Want to know what we really finding out now, y'all? Do you really want to find out what we're finding out now, y'all? Yeah, the women who black women are electing, supposed to be trying to help, on their issues. Those are the same ladies who are showing resentment towards sisters, single mothers. Think about this. Tiffany Henyard is a single mother, and she talks to black women any kind of way. Don't forget about this clip that Edward Steve said at the meeting.
I know she wants to say I'm a black woman, and it's because I'm a woman. You know how many women that she's affecting? Look at what she did to Dr. Scott down the street. She won't even let her open up. Look how she talks to the other black women up here. These are all single mothers, just like her. Look how she talks to them. Look how she talks to the clerk who's old enough to be her mother. Look how disrespectful she is. If y'all can't see that, a lot of y'all do see that. I just don't refuse to see it. She's so disrespectful.
Oh yeah, nobody respects single black women like Tiffany Henyard. And it's absolutely true. Disrespect, disrespect, disrespect. Oh my God. And if this lawsuit comes through, Henyard, boo, you're out. Now stop the show. How did the brother take the cheeks? Then went around talking about he took the cheeks to other people. Just reckless. And then you see they out there trying to hide it at the end of the news clip and saying that these are false allegations. Nah, y'all going down. Big time. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, Shady Jackson. Back at it again. Another episode of Celebrity Drunk. Preacher Fire, you just heard the bell. We're out.